helps you have a deeper relationship with your target consumers. The next few slides, I will model for you how I would respond to the discussion prompts. I won't do this every week. I'm doing this here now because I think it not only helps you answer the discussion prompts, but it helps you deepen your analysis when you're doing research. And remember, we're talking throughout the course about how to develop relationships with your target consumers, being aware of the international environmental variables. And specifically this week, we're talking about physical elements. So my first step would always be to think about, well, what is the spotlight region or country we are focusing on in our syllabus? And this week it happens to be Mexico. And so I did a little bit of research to find something that I think is particular to Mexico and a product that I really love consuming myself. And that led me to reading more about avocados. And this article from Fresh Plaza, which is an industry newsletter for people who are in the fresh produce industry. And it also covers international concerns within the industry as well as ecological and sustainability concerns. So I also noted that this has a lot to do with informing me around the physical variables, physical environment variables in which avocados are grown and distributed. So my major source is this article, which is from November of 2018, very current, on the avocado crop's problems it creates. Specifically in this article, it addresses problems within Mexico. So knowing where the source comes from, and back to week one video, I always want to examine the bias. So I do know that this is an industry newsletter that has a bias towards sustainability and ecology. And this is not such a bad thing for me, although I'm going to note that they are coming from an angle in which they want to promote sustainability and ecology. And this may have a different tone to it or a different perspective than a source that might come from, say, an independent farm or a small farm that grows avocados, let's say, or even a restaurant industry or a supermarket chain and how they obtain avocados. Everyone might have a slightly different perspective, but I chose this one because I think the concerns it addresses impact how I might consume or market avocados. So next in my discussion response, I would make a claim with supporting facts. So after reading the article and even examining some of the sources it cites and also looking possibly at other sources that might support and or disagree with this source, I've sort of landed on the following facts as things I feel are true. And so the reason why the discussion is so important for each of you to respond to each other's posts is because it does invite people to sort of say, I wonder, I've heard something different, or I wonder how this might be received differently in this industry, or what have you. It's the discussion and sort of the peer review that occurs after you make a claim and say what your supporting facts are that all leads us to deeper understandings. So this is hopefully what I want you to do. So don't be afraid to make a claim and say what supports your claim. So here's my claim. Avocado plantations are rapidly growing, and this is bringing ecological concerns about the sustainability of avocados being able to be grown in enough of a quantity to meet demand. So the facts that I believe are true are the following. World demand for avocados is booming and is expected to continue to grow. Further down in this bulleted list, I even cited the Mexican Ministry of Agriculture expects the world demand to grow by almost 50% by 2030. And since this is where avocados originated and they are the largest growers of avocados, I felt like this was a very reliable source. And also, I know the Mexican Ministry of Agriculture would also be highly concerned and also be able to prove and show the impact that avocado production has had inside of Mexico. It's led to deforestation, loss of biodiversity, and soil erosion. This has also been shown to be the case in other countries that have begun to grow avocados, such as Israel and South Africa. They also because avocados are so profitable, again, that is because the demand for them is much higher than their supply. Many people who grow fresh produce are converting many of their crops to avocado avocado growth and getting rid of other crops. So this alone decreases the biodiversity. It also has begun to be the case where forested areas are being cleared to create avocado plantations to plant avocado trees. And another fact that holds up across multiple sources is that avocados just take an enormous amount of water to grow. So this is a concern because most other crops don't take anywhere near as much water. And for places like Israel, who are in very arid climates and have to desalinate water, which at a great expense, this might be a concern that could impact that market as well. So this is my claim. Any marketing campaign would need to examine the growth, rapidly booming growth of the avocado market throughout the world, but also address concerns around its ecological damage and sustainability. I've also asked you in your prompt to always reference the key terms or concepts that will help you communicate your claim, and always within a marketing lens, of course. Your use of marketing terms is not only part of your group assignments, it's also part of your individual assignments. If you look at the rubrics, your knowledge of marketing terminology is oftentimes one of the criterion for your grade. So be very explicit about when you're using this terminology. This will help you and your classmates. And some of the examples of how I would phrase things based on what I just said are here on this slide. So Fundamentals of Marketing Chapter 1, I've told you that in the recent slides, already I've used the terms physical variables. The physical variables are one of the 7 environmental variables we always need to consider in any marketing plan. I also would say from Chapter 1 that there would likely be unpredictable distribution and pricing considerations due to the fact that supply is far below demand in most markets for avocados across the world. So distribution and pricing or placement and pricing are 2 of the 4 Ps. Those considerations need to be addressed in any marketing plan. The second chapter, because my source and my analysis is very focused on examining the physical variables, it's just naturally I discussed ecological concerns and sustainability concerns, both concepts that are within Chapter 2, and again also going down to the integrated marketing plan. This is very easy to see now. Based on my research, any situation analysis I do, if I'm working in the avocado industry to market the product, it would definitely have to address the increasing pressure from national and local governments to address sustainability and ecological damage concerns, and any marketing campaign must be aware of these concerns and address them. And so you can see how I've made quick reference to key concepts. Even though my explanation here took a long time, I hope it was helpful for you to understand sort of the elements of analysis, research and analysis, making a claim, supporting that with facts, and sort of taking a stand on how all of this impacts your ability to do market research and build it into your integrated marketing plans is something that you don't have to be right or wrong about, but you should put something out there and let your classmates respond, and hopefully it helps us all learn more. Thank you so much. I hope this overview was helpful. And again, I'm here for you, so don't hesitate to contact me. You can message me on Canvas. I think that really is the best way to reach out to me. Just so you know, anytime you message me on Canvas, I also get an email. So that helps me because a lot of times on my phone app, I can get access to you and your questions much more quickly if it comes to me through Canvas, because there's a Canvas app for teachers. So that is the best way to reach out to me. Hope this was helpful. Have a great week.